I hope you will have the patience to listen to this. Communication is anyhow very difficult because words have definite meanings. Consciously, we accept certain definitions and try to translate what we hear according to those definitions. But if we begin to define every word and leave it at that, communication will be at the conscious level. It seems to me that what we are discussing is not merely to be understood at the conscious level, but also to be absorbed, if I may put it that way, unconsciously, deep down, without the formulation of definition. It is far more important to listen with the depth of one's whole being than to indulge in merely superficial explanations. If we can listen in that way with the totality of one's being, that very listening is an act of meditation. You have to listen without any effort, without any struggle. It is a very difficult problem to listen with the totality of one's being. That is, when the mind not only hears the words but is capable of going beyond the words. The mere judgment of a conscious mind is not the discovery or the understanding of truth. The conscious mind can never find that which is real. All that it can do is to choose, judge, weigh, compare. But comparison, judgment, or identification is not the uncovering of truth. That is why it is very important to know how to listen. When you read a book, you might translate what you read according to your particular tendency, knowledge, or idiosyncrasy, and so miss the whole content of what the author wants to convey. But to understand, to discover, you have to listen without the resistance of the conscious mind, which wants to debate, discuss, analyze. Debating, discussing, analyzing is a hindrance when we are dealing with matters which require not mere verbal definition and superficial understanding, but understanding at a much deeper, more fundamental level. Such understanding, the understanding of truth, depends upon how one listens. Can one listen without any conclusion, without any comparison or judgment? Just listen as you would listen to music, to something which you really feel you love. Then you listen not only with your mind, your intellect, but you also listen with your heart. You listen with care, objectively, sanely. You listen with attention to find out. I think there is an art of listening which is to listen completely without any motive, because a motive in listening is a distraction. If you can listen with complete attention, then there is no resistance, either to your own thoughts or to what is being said, which does not mean you will be mesmerized by words. But it is only the very silent, quiet mind that finds out what is true, not a mind which is furiously active, thinking, resisting. I do not know if you have ever tried this. That is, to listen to the words and to find out the truth of any statement that is made by the speaker, not only intellectually, not only with considerable doubt, but also to listen without any resistance, which does not mean accepting, but to listen so profoundly with great attention, so that the very act of listening brings about a total breakdown of the pattern of the brain.